Hi YouTube, my name is Heather and I love anti-MLM content here on YouTube. Today I'm really excited for us to watch a quick training video from past top Beachbody coach Melanie Mitro, who's telling us how to identify our ideal client before we launch our biz. I'm really excited to watch this video, and as always, please let me know what you think about this topic down below.
Hey everybody, it is Melanie Mitro and we are back for day 3 of what to consider before you launch your business. So today we're going to talk about creating your ideal avatar. So an avatar is
Your avatar is a really big thing in Beachbody. There's tons and tons of training from top Beachbody coaches about how to create your ideal avatar. And I find it super interesting because I've never talked about this topic on my channel before. So we're going to let it play for like a minute-ish and let her just explain what it all is, and then we can talk about it more.
your audience. Who is the person, that ideal person that you want to help? So when I launched my business, I simply said, I want to help women. I want to help women feel the way that I feel. But that's really broad. Let me ask you a few questions to kind of get the wheels turning. Do you want to help women that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, married, divorced, kids, no kids? Do you want to help women that work full time or are stay at home moms? Are you vegan? Are you somebody that loves plant based, right? Are you somebody that does intermittent fasting, or do you just hate the concept of a diet and you just really don't want to be restricted at all? Do you love to exercise? Do you only do it because you have to, right? Think about all of those things. And really, when you look in the mirror and you look at yourself, that's really who you want to target. You want to target where you're at in your life, your gifts, your talents, and your passions. So for me, I really found that my audience has shifted and changed over the years. But initially, when I first started, I was in the new mom phase.
So she talked about a lot already. So for some reason, we need to target down to the age range of the women that we want to help. So women that we want to sell a product to or have join our team, age range, marital status, if they're divorced, married, whether they have children. That's a big thing in Beachbody, whether they stay at home, work outside the home part-time or full-time, et cetera, et cetera. And then we also want to think about where we are at that point in our lives while we're trying to find our ideal client. And all of that seems fine on the surface. It's a good idea in sales to have a specific idea of the client that you want to reach. But in the Beachbody context, Deanna Mims has talked about this a lot. When you're told to find people who are the same as you before Beachbody, 99% of the time it's some kind of vulnerability. She's going to go in and talk about it. Maybe you're a new mom and you're struggling with your weight and your self-confidence. Maybe you're a new mom and you're struggling finding time for yourself, to exercise, to see your friends, just to have me time. Maybe you're experiencing significant mental health challenges and that's why you joined Beachbody, because you wanted a community. Maybe you're also experiencing financial struggle and that's why you joined Beachbody, because you were told that you could make more money for your family and contribute financially. Maybe you really want to stay at home with your children and be a present parent and also contribute financially, correct? And these are all different characteristics that could make a person more vulnerable. Vulnerability related to MLM does not always need to be something extremely obvious and in your face. Could just be, I'm a new mom, I am adjusting pretty well, but I miss adult conversation. That is a vulnerability, even though it's not a super extreme vulnerability. And you have to think about, in the MLM context, it's not just about selling a product, it's also about getting someone into your downline, bringing someone into a system that is set up for at least 80% of people on the bottom of the pyramid to lose money or make no money, for at minimum or at maximum, 20% of people at the top who are actually making decent money. So you're trying to find people who are the same as you before Beachbody in order to bring them into a fraudulent business structure. And that's the issue that I have with this kind of conversation. What do you think about this? Let me know below.
It was postpartum, post baby, trying to get my body back, learning how to eat clean, finding the time to exercise around my kids' nap schedules, and making healthy meals that my kids would also eat too.
I've never had a baby, been pregnant or anything, so please let me know about this down below. But she was saying, like, trying to find time to work out, trying to find time to eat healthy, trying to figure out how to lose the baby weight and be back in your pre-pregnancy body. Those are all things, in my opinion, that could make a pregnant brand new mom more vulnerable to MLMs and especially to Beachbody, where they like to tell prospective coaches and customers that all you need are these products, these workout programs, and these nutritional products, then you're going to have your dream body. You can't find health and happiness and success anywhere else. Beachbody is the only way to meet your weight loss goals, which we know that isn't true. What do you think about that?
So I identified that ideal customer, and every time I created a post, I was speaking to that woman. And I still do that.
Your ideal customer is a vulnerable individual who went through a really significant life change and who may be struggling to adjust to life as a brand new mother and as a mother who just gave birth. As we know, giving birth is a huge deal on your body. Your body goes through so many changes, and after you give birth, your body goes through so many changes. And just that alone, it could potentially make someone more vulnerable to joining this MLM. What do you think about that?
Today, as I'm creating content, I'm speaking to the person that wants to feel healthy, that looks at exercise and nutrition not as something they have to do to reach a number on a scale, but because they want to feel good about themselves, because they want to be able to have mental clarity to do their job, to follow their passion. I want to help women be top performers. And I talk about it that way when I'm talking about health and fitness. So you don't have to adopt the same ideal philosophies and client avatar that I do, but what's your ideal client? Think about this. When you talk about fitness or nutrition, what lights you up? Or what do you want to accomplish in your own health and fitness journey? Maybe you say to yourself, I am an emotional eater and I'm going to get a control on this. Or I am not so great at consistency. So over the next 30 days, I'm going to make myself the guinea pig. And I am going to teach other people how I have learned to become consistent in my journey. And so now your avatar is somebody that, wants to learn how to meal plan, wants to deal with emotional eating, learning how to be consistent. And you are the shining example of that. And you're teaching people how to do that. You will begin to attract people of the same demographic, the same age, the same interest level as you do.
I have a few things I want to talk about there. So emotional eating, she's saying that we can showcase our journey to overcome that on social media and therefore attract other people with the same struggles. And the issue I have with that, of course, these coaches are not, most of them, sorry, are not certified in health or fitness. And I don't think a non-certified person should be giving public advice about emotional eating in this manner. And also emotional eating could just be you had a bad day and you want to eat some good food, or you're really tired and you want to eat some chips just to make yourself feel better. Or it could be a symptom of a more serious issue that could potentially be like a mental health issue where you should talk to a therapist about, or it could be the sign of a potential eating disorder where you might need to talk to a just eating disorder specialist. So it could just be had a bad day, you're going to eat something, or it could be the root of a more serious problem. And an issue I have in the cases where it could be the root of a more serious problem, I feel like these Beachbody coaches just say, oh, just follow what I say, and then you're going to be over emotional eating and you'll be fine. When a lot of these people could need to seek professional assistance to overcome this. What do you think about that?
I'll tell you a story about this one time whenever.
Sorry, I paused it too quickly. When you're looking for people who were like you before Beachbody, a lot of times you'll see it translate into potentially very, very, very predatory and unethical recruiting practices. I've seen that translate into trying to recruit people with eating disorders, and there has been lots of anecdotal evidence on YouTube about how Beachbody can worsen an eating disorder, or people who have mental health issues, for example, or like really serious deep rooted issues that should be discussed and shared with a professional, not with people on the internet who don't have any certifications to help you deal with eating disorders and to help you deal with mental health.
I thought that one of my mentors is younger than I am. She didn't have any kids at the time. She was single, and she was like, okay, let's do this bikini boot camp challenge. We're going to advertise for this together. I'm like, perfect. This will be awesome. It's right around the time of spring break. She goes, I'll make the graphics. I'll get everything set up. We'll both advertise for it. We'll add to the same accountability group, and we'll support our customers together.
So accountability group, I think we talked about this a little bit in the past. You can either have a free group where you can just join for free and do a Beachbody workout program with other people in the group. And that's with the intention of potentially bringing you in as a customer or as a coach later, correct? Or you could be having to pay or purchase a challenge pack, which usually involves Shakeology, to enter a Beachbody challenge group. I have yet to find training literally just explaining what a challenge group is. If I am to come across that video, I would love to talk about it and show an example of what it actually is in practice, because it's great just to sit here and tell you what it is, but I would like to show exactly what these groups look like and how you get into them.
So everything was gorgeous. The graphics were beautiful. The ideas were great.
Sorry, and a lot of these groups have specific themes. So in this example, it is a bikini boot camp. Could be back to school, could be a group for teachers, could be a group for moms of preschoolers, could be a group for Christian moms or dads, So there's always specific themes that will appeal to certain groups of the population.
The script that we were using for our daily check-ins was awesome. But here's the thing. She launched it and got all of these people to sign up. I launched it, got nobody to sign up. I did everything that she was doing. And at the very end, right, when we started that group and I didn't have anybody to add, I didn't get mad. I didn't look at myself as a failure. I sort of leaned in. And I asked myself a couple of questions. Is this ideal for my audience? Are they...
She always says leaned in. Like, that's her favorite saying. I leaned in. When things go bad in my business, I lean in. I lean in. And she said when I didn't recruit anyone into the challenge group, I didn't get mad. I leaned in. And I think she's using that as an example of what the ideal mindset should be. So if you aren't making money, you should just lean in. If you can't find any recruits, you should just lean in and keep trying. But I've heard her tell this story before, and from how she has described it in other videos, it was when she was a brand new coach, and this was her first challenge group ever. So she was doing it with her coach, with her mentor, and with I think the level of the stakes are different when you're a coach who's been in it for 5 years and you're still not making any money versus a brand new coach who just started and didn't recruit anyone into the challenge group. One, as a brand new coach, of course you're not going to find anyone. You're a brand new coach, and it, like any kind of job, takes time to get used to. And in the other one, you're literally not feeding your family and you're going into greater debt. So I don't think those two situations are comparable. What do you think about that? Does that make sense?
Getting ready to go on spring break, so they want to fit into a bikini. It was like, smacked me right in the face. I'm like, oh my gosh, absolutely not. No, my audience is not. My audience is women with small kids, most likely a stay-at-home mom that is covered in spit up, wearing yoga pants for like 5 days now, is on day 10 of dry shampoo, and would just be happy if they could go out for a date night and put on their pair of jeans and button them up without their muffin top hanging over.
I see a lot of issues with that kind of statement. First off, again, I've never been pregnant, so please chime in below, but what if you're a woman who just gave birth and maybe you have a muffin top because you literally just grew and then birthed a human from your body, right? And you think, oh, well, it's okay because I just gave birth a month ago and I want to lose the weight, but I'm really happy and confident in the way I look now, and I'm going to keep working towards my weight loss goal. So they might have a muffin top but be okay with it. And then they hear someone at the very top of the company saying, my ideal audience is just someone who wants to put up their jeans without their muffin top hanging over. And then in the woman's head, they might think, oh, well, is my muffin top a bad thing? I'm proud in my post-pregnancy body. I went through a lot and I'm going to get to my goals at some point. Do you know what I mean? I might be thinking too far into that statement. Also, the way what she's describing, like women who always wear yoga pants, have spit up all over themselves, have dry shampoo. She's describing it as women who aren't able to take care of themselves, women who don't have a moment alone to brush their hair or get in the shower or go to the bathroom in peace. And those are women. She's describing these brand new moms as women who are more vulnerable, who have no time to themselves, who just want to be around adult adults and have adult interaction. Does that make sense? And I think she uses the business as a way to bring women in and say, look, if you can do this business, you'll find financial success. You can have time for yourself. You can have time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, whatever the heck that means. And you can be a present stay-at-home mom. She's not exactly saying this in this video, but I think like that's how she uses the narrative, and she uses her avatar as brand new moms in that way to be like, look, you can have a different life if you join this business. Sorry, I'm being really rambly as usual, but I hope that made sense.
And so it was like, oh wow, yeah, I'm definitely not speaking to my audience because like people just don't care about bikini boot camps, right? And so I decided that I would create a group, a virtual boot camp group that would speak to my target audience. Battle of the bulge, how to get your body back. And when I marked
Battle of the bulge. Like some women might be in the position where they really do want to lose a lot of weight, but what if other women, I just literally just said this, but what if other women are like, yeah, this is what my body looks like for now, and I'm working towards my weight loss goals and I'll get there eventually, but I'm happy with how I look. Then they hear this battle of the bulge and think, oh, well, is my stomach ugly? Am I not beautiful anymore because I have like a bigger stomach because I just gave birth? What do you think?
marketed that, I had success. Why? Because that was those are the people I was relating to. I could share tips, I could share strategies, I could give advice to other women because I was living it. I was learning how to get my body back. I was showing women how to meal plan and prep. I was teaching women how to find the willpower within to get up on those mornings when the kids keep you up at night. I was talking about emotional eating after the kids go to bed and it's been a long day. It was my audience. So,
and an issue I have with Beachbody weight loss programs like the 4-week gut protocol and what she's talking about here, they make weight loss sound so easy. Like just follow the container system, just follow the weight loss programs, and you're going to find success. Well, what if you can't find success because you have another issue going on in your life? Maybe you have hormonal imbalance, maybe you have hypothyroidism that actually makes it really hard for you to lose weight. And then you're doing these Beachbody programs and you're not finding weight loss success because you have other health issues going on that make it harder for you to lose weight. And instead of going to a professional, a doctor, a specialist, you just think that you're doing something wrong and you're not doing what you need to do. And people are like, oh, just drink more Shakeology. Oh, just make sure you're following the container system properly. And you're just listening to your Beachbody coach instead of going to a professional. What do you think about that?
when you are thinking about the business you are about to launch, ask yourself these questions. Who do I want to serve? And what am I most passionate about when it comes to building this business? The last piece of advice I'll give you is don't be afraid to narrow it in. It's okay. You don't need to, I need to want to help everybody. I want you just to bring it on in, narrow that focus. Remember that the more focused you are on your target audience, the more success you are going to have. I have always found that to be true for myself. The more that I drive home the characteristics and the personality styles, the bigger my business is growing. So I hope that that helps you. What can you do to kind of figure it out? Sit down and write out what your ideal client looks like. What do they do? Where do they spend time? What are their obstacles? And how can you provide a solution to them that is going to help them get from where they are now to where they want to be? All right, if you have questions about that, let me know. You can DM me, you can reply to my email. I absolutely will help you figure this out.
So she wants us to help people overcome their obstacles based on the obstacles that we've experienced, what makes us vulnerable, and what made it easier for our upline to bring us into the business. Again, I said this already. If this was just normal sales, I'd be fine with it. But it's also about drawing vulnerable people into a fraudulent business structure who are taught to manipulate other vulnerable people and draw them into the business structure. And then that cycle continues on and on.
But this is a great place to start, is just knowing who you want to serve and who you can serve the best.
Okay, so we just need to know who we want to serve and who we can serve the best. What do you think about this? I feel like every single top Beachbody coach talks about having your Beachbody avatar with the exact characteristics of the clients that you want to serve, what their obstacles are, i.e., what makes them vulnerable, and what their approach to health and fitness would be. Does that make sense? So let me know what you think about this idea of building your Beachbody avatar, and what your thoughts are about Beachbody coaches being taught to seek out other vulnerable people who've had similar experiences to them, and who were similar to as they were prior to Beachbody, and drawing them into the business. I do think it's just a continuous cycle of manipulation where vulnerable people are brought in, are taught to manipulate other vulnerable people, who are taught to manipulate other vulnerable people, and so on and so on. And I think just the structure of MLM makes this more predatory and unethical, in my opinion. So that's all I have for today. Please let me know what you think about this below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.